And there's so many different aspects to immigration that it's not just the migration part of it, but a lot of other things that are just out of control.
Like what?
So, naturalized citizens should not be able to hold public office. Growing up here is a big part of understanding the country. We need to
I've been
stop
saying
and
this.
limit the amount of foreign students that are coming into our
I've been
universities. Some of
saying
them are spies,
this.
by the way, for foreign governments. But
I've
it's
been
also just
feeling
we should
this.
put our kids first.
Yes.
And we should also not allow dual citizenship because that's the stupidest idea. You're either American or you're not. And everyone wants to make it so complicated. That's the thing that I don't like about the past generations. They're always about the rules, the process, and regulation. No, it's really simple. You're just America first. People should have their loyalty to America first. And if they can't
I
do
love
that, then this ain't
this.
the country for you.
Love this kid.
That's totally right. What about serving in a foreign military?
Oh gosh, no, forget about it. You can't do that.
Of course not, right?
It's ridiculous. That idea alone is just insane.
Hey, the youth, young men coming up. We got to start paying attention to these young men with these bright ideas. I've been saying this for so long. I believe people that get naturalized should not be an American citizen. They should not be in American office at all. I believe it should take 3 generations before your bloodline or your family is able to be in office. You don't know what it takes to be American, what it's like to be American until you lived in America. I tell people this all the time. Some people disagree. I don't even agree in birthright citizenship where you here and then you're here and then you have a kid and their kid is automatically American citizen. That kid still does not know what it is to be an American. It's because the generation before them that had the kid is still teaching them the ways of their country, not the ways of America. That's why I feel like it will take 3 generations for them to fully understand what it is to be American. This is what people do. They say they love America, they get over here, get everything from America, get naturalized, and they say they hate America. This is what they do. This is how you look at Minneapolis, look at Dearborn, look at some of the parts in Texas with they're trying to do the Sharia law. They are coming in here having kids, and they get naturalized, and the kids get birthright citizenship, but the kids don't understand what it is to be American. 3 generations, I believe. I believe that 3 generations, that's when you can get into office. That's when you should be able to get American citizenship. You should not have the same rights as kids that have been here for generations and generations to come. I believe in this wholeheartedly. Not a racist thing, not anything like that. But you don't know what it is to be an American. If you came from another country, you got naturalized, and now you don't know what it takes to be American. You don't know. You seek asylum, then you finally get naturalized. But what happens? Do you understand what it takes to be American? Are you loyal to America? A lot of people come from different countries into America, but they're not loyal to America. That's the thing that we have a problem with. They're loyal to their country, they're loyal to their religion, but they're not loyal to what's going on in America. So they come here and try to change it. The Constitution, these things that they still using for constitutional rights and all that, that should be for American people, not people that are immigrants that came over here. Now they're naturalized. Now they feel like they have a voice. Too many people have a voice without putting in the work for America. So I wholeheartedly believe I've been saying this in a lot of my videos. Hopefully you watch it and you'll see. But if you are American, it should be a process. It should not just be I'm naturalized. Now I'm American citizen. Now I can vote. Now I can be get into office, all of that. That's the reason why our offices and things like that, our rules are changing so quickly. It's because they get here, they beat us by numbers, have kids, get naturalized, then they get into office, and then now they're loyal to their religion or their people, but not loyal to America. If it took you 3 years or 3 generations, I believe it should be 3 generations. 3 generations where that family or somebody from that family in the third generation can finally be in office because now you understand the American way. That's about 60 years each generation. So 180 years. Then now you understand what it takes to be an American. See, the hate from the other countries that come here, it gets implemented into our justice system. It gets implemented into our Congress and all of that because they still have the hate. It's not like it's been burnt off through time. We need to start using time as our asset for America. We need to start stretching out time for things. We need to stop giving people instant rights in America because you know why? We don't get the instant rights in other countries. I can't go to any other country and then become a citizen. Now I'm a part of the parliament or a part of whatever. Tell me which country I can do that at. Why? And that's the thing I never understood about America. Why is America the only country that you can come here, get naturalized, get all these free things, and then you can get into office and then you can make a change and make it better for your own people? This is what they come here for because they know America's rules are too laxed. But I agree with him. I agree with him wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Dual citizenship's already bad enough.
Oh,
But
yeah.
to
dual
serve in
citizenship is
another
terrible.
country's military is disqualifying, really.
Of course. I mean, it's hard to believe it's even a conversation. What
Right.
about language? Do you worry that, countries are united by their language, and language is inseparable from culture? Language is culture in a lot of ways, but this doesn't seem like an English-speaking country anymore.
Yeah, especially when you go to places like Minneapolis, Miami, New
Yeah.
York, which I lived there for a little bit. And yeah, I want to be able to understand everybody. I just do. It's my country. I don't think I should have to speak another language in my own country. I don't think anyone wants that. I don't think it's good for us. Not saying that you can't know another language. I think that's great
You should
to know another
yeah,
language.
It's good.
But to have anything other than English as the primary language in this country, not acceptable.
You're not describing the priorities of the modern Republican Party at all here.
No, but hopefully one day it will be. That's what I hope will happen.
So my sense, but you would know, is that everything you just said for the past half an hour is like basically what most young men your age think who are conservative.
Who are conservative? Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
Who are
Yes.
conservative. So do they look at the Republican Party as representing them?
No, not at all. And
That's the thing that's you see in the Republican Party. We have Trump, great president, doing this thing, but the youth feel like it's not enough as far as helping them be a better America. The youth wants everybody to speak English. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I should not feel like the minority anywhere I go as an American citizen. I should be able to communicate with anybody wherever I go because we are Americans. There should be no little Chinatown. There should be no little Mexico town. There should not be any little towns. It should be America. No, there's no problem with learning other languages and understanding, but some places that I will go, I will feel like I'm the minority and nobody speaks English. Is that right? America's language is English. Hate to say it, we need to start going back to the old days to where we have these standards of English, you know what I'm saying, taking care of American people first. And this is why I understand, the young generation with America first, because it's pretty simple. These young men and young women are understanding that they're getting pushed out economically. And they're getting pushed out by people that aren't speaking the language, that are getting special treatment because they're coming over here from different countries. So it definitely makes a lot of sense. And this is why the youth, you have to listen to the youth. They're telling you what they see, and partially that's the reason why they aren't successful. Where can I go to work a job, but the person that's hiring me does not even speak English. They speak a different language. So of course they're going to pick somebody else that speaks their language. So this is not America. So I definitely feel like the Republican Party has to start probably listening a little more about that because it's true. Go to LA. You forgot to mention Los Angeles. Go to Los Angeles. Go to San Francisco. Go to Northern Cali, where it's mostly an Indian population and not a lot of people speak English. You have a select few. We should not be feeling like the minority in America if we're Americans. I always believe that Americans should have more perks and more treatment than people that are naturalized or people that are legal. I feel like America should be voting for American issues and voting for stuff like that. I don't believe that if you're naturalized, you should be voting for anything yet, unless you have 3 generations of your bloodline here in the country. I wholeheartedly believe that because you start to see the change. You start to see that they put their own people into office. Look at Dearborn. Look at Dearborn. Look at Minneapolis. You can say some of that in some Latino industries, which is not, I have no problem with Latinos, but you see who they don't put a black person in. They don't put a white person in. They put one of their own in. That's just what they are trained to do. They're going to put their own in because if I put that person in power, they understand me. They're going to protect me. So what we have from this young generation coming up, this young revolution, is America first. America first. But I feel like America, we need to start using time as our ally. I think time is a big asset for America to get back to normal. Making sure that, look, you can't vote unless you have 3 generations here. You can't get into office unless you have 3 generations here. If we had this rule before, the Democrats wouldn't be able to do what they were able to do, is bringing in illegals and then naturalizing them or giving them whatever license or whatever, giving them ID. Now they can vote. That rule would be non-existent. So this is definitely, the young white America, but it's not just white America. It's, young black America too. A lot of people are getting pushed out by jobs from other, from immigrants or people that come here, but they don't hire black. They don't hire white. They hire their own. So that's why I feel like that's a problem. So this is why, you have young men like him speaking out, saying, we got to do something about this, because if not, America won't be America. But definitely what I feel like, if you had 3 generations, you have to be, your bloodlines be here for 3 generations before you can start to vote. And also, to do away with birthright citizenship. Birthright citizenship was made for slaves. It was not made for anybody else. So look at how many cultures have benefited off of black people. Birthright citizenship was made for slaves, because a slave would have somebody, have a kid, and they have birthright citizenship. Okay, and then black people actually fought for having an equal vote as everybody else. This is why, like, you got to talk about a lot of these cultures. They forget that they're on the backs of black people, but they treat black people bad. That's the crazy part. You don't want to make this a racist thing, but look at it. A lot of these cultures, a lot of these people are able to dominate America because of a rule that was made for black people. So I definitely feel like birthright citizenship. Oh no, I live in the way I talk about this. I lived overseas. I played basketball overseas. I had a daughter. Well, my daughter was actually born in L.A., Santa Monica, but we were in France where I played basketball. So my wife and I, we were just gonna stay and have the baby in France, and said, "Oh, she's gonna be cool that she's gonna have a dual citizenship. That's great." Unbeknown to us, you can't do that. They told us, no, you got to be here for 10 years. You got to be able to speak the language. You got to be a good person of the community. You got to contribute to the You got to contribute to the community. You got to pay taxes. You got to do all these things in order to be a French. And that's in order for us to think about us making you a French citizen. Why doesn't America do that? But I think America needs to do that, but on a longer basis, because the impact is greater in America. So we're one of the select few countries that do birthright citizenship. But this is why, like I said, we talk about laws, and this is why people, we have these bills and stuff. This is why we need to have single bills get passed so everybody understands. But there should be a bill that kind of revise that bill for only black people, because that's what a rule is made for. But you see a lot of countries, a lot of immigrants piggybacking off of that bill that was really made for black people. We're in a critical time right now in America, where the youth has to speak up. The youth has to be smarter. The youth is telling us what they see, and we have to listen to them. They have great ideas. They have a lot of energy. We have to put them in a position to where they can be heard. I believe, that's why I believe that Charlie Kirk was a huge influence on the youth. He opened their eyes. I feel like he would have been the next president for sure. But who's next? The Republican Party is doing a solid job. The Trump administration is doing a solid job. But the values you guys got to have and be able to understand what the youth are talking about. Got to listen to them. So I definitely believe a lot of things that he's saying. I believe in that wholeheartedly. 3 generations before you can get naturalized and be able to vote and be able to get into office. And then also, too, I would definitely say having no birthright citizenship would do wonders for America.